Welcome to another episode. I am talking and encouraging today and simply chopping it up. Um, Let me tell you, this week my thoughts have been sometimes it's easy to try and be polished and everything together and all that stuff to record, but I'm gonna tell you, today was or this week period has been a challenge because I have just been in a state of I don't want to do anything this week, ha ha ha. But I wanted to make sure I did show up for the recording to let you know that I see you, to let you know that I am cheering you on, and to engage in some dialogue because I see there are people that are liking my videos. I have more followers. Thank you for the follows. I'm excited about that. And I truly believe there's a space for us who are over 40 and entering into motherhood. Whether you are like, if it's before the journey and whatever stage, if you're believing to get married, if you're married and you're waiting for that time of conception, whatever the process is, wherever you are in your journey, or you just like myself, just had your little one, there are so many different conversations that we can have, right? And I want to hear your thoughts. Put those in the comments and let me know what's a topic you want to really deep dive into. What are some challenges you want to address, or even some uncertainties that you wish more people would talk about? I've I've tapped on quite a few of them, but I want to really get your heart and what will make you feel fulfilled in this area if more people expressed it or had the conversation or at least created the platform to have the conversation. I know one of the things I'm going to check out my notes because I don't want to forget some things to talk about, but I do want to what's the part I wanted to talk about because it's something I did put in there. Oh, being over 40 and knowing that the journey that we took to get here and all the preparation was worth it. It was valuable time because I know sometimes some people, you know how you get in those conversations or groups or chats and see like what took you so long to get married or this, that, and another. I was living life. You know what I mean? Sometimes we live life differently, right? And some people explore, some people didn't have children because they didn't have a good relationship. Sometimes it is health related. There are so many variables to get to being over 40 and starting your family. And what I want to talk about is whatever those variables were, it is what it is, and simply embracing where we are in our journey wholeheartedly. Like, for instance, over the weekend, Honeycup got to meet another one of her uncles, and oh, two of her uncles. Oh my goodness, we had a blast, and just the love and the warmth and the embrace of her, going into that world fully loved, fully accepted, people that are excited and in great expectation to meet her. We still have friends that can't wait to meet her and family that can't wait to meet her. And I think one of the things to consider on your journey is that your prayers, your desires, all those things are important. All those things make a difference. And to go wholeheartedly in it and shut out the noise along the way. And even, I think another variable to talk about is motherhood doesn't erase womanhood. You understand what I'm saying? So you are fully woman and fully going into a place of being a mother. It's almost like we put on another hat, you know, and we have the capacity and the grace for it, right? And as we go on those journeys, I think we need rooms and spaces to talk about the statistics that are out there. We need rooms and spaces to talk about health. We need rooms and spaces about myths, rooms and spaces about things that were acceptable and made normal, but it's actually abnormal. And how do we decipher between those things? So I think that's another conversation to have also. What else? Oh, I think what we think about each other. So what I put is becoming a mother later doesn't make you less than. You understand what I'm saying? Because some people have their children in their early 20s and different things like that, and they say prime of life, if per se. But I think prime is whenever you decide is prime. You know what I mean? I know some people that started their best life in their 40s and 50s and this, that, and the other. So I know personally, I said this before. One of the things for me personally, I never wanted to have children young. And with that in mind, my mindset is I didn't want to grow up on the backs of my children. I wanted to be an established, sound woman before bringing life into the world because it was important for them to come into an environment that was mature. And with age comes maturity for a lot of people. Some people age and don't mature. Don't get me wrong. I do understand there are people like that, but I wasn't one of them. I was very intentional about growth. And with that in mind, I want to encourage someone who believes that if they're after the 30 mark or after 35 when they start with the geriatrics labels and the advanced maternal age labels, that you know that you are valuable. And not only are you valuable, is your desires are valid. And to create a community and surround yourself with people that embrace where you are in life and is going to nurture you through the journey. That's important, being around those who will nurture you in the journey, whether they are people that are in your circle, in your surroundings, in your family, or you find them through an online community, or reaching out and finding people, whether it's a Google search or if you found me online as someone over 40 who had her first child, whatever the case may be, get that because that will help you stay focused and encouraged in the journey. Now, let's see what else. Oh my goodness, for those who are on the other side and you have your little one, your first little one after 40 at that, sometimes I know when I may get on a call with someone, a client or just out and about, they'll ask about our child first. And I think people do it out of excitement for life, but sometimes women can get lost in that to where people no longer care about mom per se. Not that they don't care about mom, but it's almost disregard mom because baby is there. So it's a couple angles to hit with that. One of them is being excited that people are excited about your little bundle of joy. That's one. Another one is even saying to the person that's asking about the little one, hey, I know it's real cute to talk about little one, but I'm doing okay also. Everything is going okay in my world and I'm adapting well to this world or this newness. And I think it's important to not get offended, but be expressive, communicate the feelings, weave yourself in the conversation because sometimes people can dismiss the woman and embrace the child. That's why I do so many things for women because sometimes it can be easy to get lost in being a wife, a mom, a business owner, entrepreneur. You can get lost in the titles and the core essence of who you are is not fully nurtured the way that helps us thrive. So that's why I bring that up. Okay, let's see. What else? Ha 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 ha. I think continuing to dream, that's important as well. Because I think sometimes we have to remember that two things can exist. You can be thankful for where you are and still desire more. That doesn't mean you're ungrateful because you desire more. It means there's a next. Just like when you graduate from college, you are excited about that graduation, but you don't just stop at the excitement. You go and enter into the career, the business, the next level. So, same thing with motherhood. When we become moms, we embrace that journey and we also at the same time desire more next and whatever. And I think we pace ourselves in seasons. This is a season. Is this a season for this current desire or is this the next stage of life. And I think that's important to have those strategies and those life plans. And I'm just going to weave in the personal strategy event because that's important, because I talk about that, the seasons of life, the changes in life, the how to identify desires, when to fulfill those desires. All those things are important because sometimes we can frustrate ourselves because we want to do so many things and it's just not the right time. You understand what I'm saying? Or we're frustrated because we missed the right moment. You understand? And we have to wait to the it comes back around. You understand? So there are so many ways to that. So anyhow, all this stuff is important. You are becoming. I wanted to put, that's another note I put down there. You are becoming. And sometimes in that becoming stage, you discover things about yourself. You discover capacities you didn't know you had cultivated along the way. And sometimes you realize some more is needed, that you have to stretch a little more and you have to grow. Whatever that stage is, you're becoming, and give yourself grace to become, and let some things fall off and let some other things be cultivated in the journey. All right. Oh, one thing to stop. I put that down there. Stop believing you are behind. You are not behind. You are not. You are not. And then, even one thing that encourages me is even when I pray and I ask God, to redeem the time, the things that were lost, the things that were eaten up, the time that was wasted, Lord. I pray that you redeem that. And God helps us on those journeys to redeem the time and things that were lost, or things just from sheer ignorance. And when I say ignorance, it's the sum total of everything we don't know. We're ignorant in those areas, and sometimes we experience delays and loss because we're ignorant in the area, and we hadn't cultivated or sought out knowledge or understanding in the area, and it caused a delay or being behind. But even when that is the case, don't wear, oh, I'm behind, it's too late, but acknowledge, hey, I could have missed an opportunity or two, but I'm going to redeem this time. I'm going to expedite this time. I'm going to move quickly. In my earlier seasons or earlier years, I could have took a year to do this, but I have the stamina, the wisdom, and the wherewithal to shorten that and get it done in a month. So those are just the pivots we have to make. So it's all in perspective, and it's all in our heart posture along the way. And that's one thing that I've learned. Like, my perspective is so, what do I want to call it? My perspective is more than just positive, is more than just hopeful. I think it's rooted in expectation. Like, I expect great things to happen. I expect things to unfold beautifully in my life. And because I have that expectation, when challenges come or things happen that are not aligned with my goal or my vision, I know it will get better. It's not an option for me. So I think we have to really evaluate our mindset, our perspective, things that we meditate on, and ways that conversations that we have, thoughts that we entertain, because that's another thing. Thoughts will land, you understand, will come, but we have a decision to make when they come. Are we going to come in agreement with them, or are we going to have another thought? And it's so important for us sometimes to have another thought when discouragement, fear, anxiety, or something tries to come. It's important to have another thought. And I don't know how I've cultivated this over the years. If this is just God given, the faith that I have, or we do all have a measure of faith. I do understand that. But it's so many things I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful that it's not a battle for me. And I also, at the same time, can empathize with those who are battling and give some tips with ways that I've been able to continue forward. And it's literally what I put in sustains me. I'm constantly pouring in things that are nurturing and life giving. So then when something opposite of that comes, I can combat it. So that's an encouragement along the way. Now, what else did I put on here? Ooh, like, at this stage, the cool thing about being at this stage of life, for those who have matured at this stage, we care less about impressing people. I mean, we care more about being present. That's important. We cherish moments differently. That's important. Um, Days are precious. I think our heart posture really grows as we mature and experience life. Let's see what else I put in here. Oh, spend time with yourself. That's another thing that I think is important that I encourage women to do a lot more is time for yourself. Make sure you carve out time, put yourself on your calendar, things of that nature. It's important. You matter, and we have to cultivate that over time. And what else? What else? What else? A reminder, this is the last reminder I'll put in there. Please, by all means, put your comments in there and share things that you want to talk about, things that you want to hear as being a mature woman. What's the conversations that make you tick and excited? Not only am I talking about being over 40 with our first child, but a couple other topics I'll talk about is what does business like look like? Because I have my own consulting business and things of that nature. What does that look like? Hosting events. What does that look like? The financial side of motherhood. What does that look like? Being in marriage. What is marriage like? Like it's like a whole journey with my husband. And I had a friend recently tell me marriage is overrated, and that is a lie. It is not overrated. I think it's underpraised because we have to be careful that we don't discourage people because we didn't do something well. So some people will say that label a man X, Y, and Z. No, the man that you chose were X, Y, and Z. Men are amazing. They're beautiful. They're brilliant. They are created in the image and likeness of God. They are life givers. They are protectors. They are strong. They are confident. They are becoming. You understand what I'm saying? And so men have such great attributes that they bring to the table. And so our heart posture has to change toward what we desire for those who are desiring relationships. So with that being said, put your comments and things that you want to express and talk about. It was another lady online that did a few video conversations, and I really appreciated her because she was honest, as a woman who wasn't married. And she said, I don't want to hear the stories of women who were or are married and how you survived because your spouse cheated on you or something like that. She was like, I want to hear stories about relationships that thrive without infidelity. You understand what I'm saying? And that's like real. We get tired of the I overcame and I'm in a relationship. We want to hear the stories of two solid people who were loyal to each other, their destiny, their purpose, and they're thriving in life, not from a place of dysfunction and infidelity, but a place of loyalty and making a decision to be intentional in their marriage. So I respected her for that video, and it was so good. I'm so excited about her bringing that up because a lot of times it's almost have a false expectation or say that label men in a certain way or even women because life is out here. It's kind of sometimes it can be a little ratchet out here, but I will say there are healthy marriages that we can model and have conversations about that are based on loyalty, that are based on mutual respect, that are based on moral standards and values that we can glean from. And we just have to find them and move forward from there. So this is the conclusion of today's episode. And I want to, let me see if I did. Let me tell y'all. I have been very intentional about keeping this book close. So the pregnancy journey journal, week by week journal, I created this to encourage moms in every stage of pregnancy. I put letters in there, games in there, logs in there, just all the things that help us to go through this precious journey of motherhood. And it's available on Amazon. In the description, you'll see all the fun things that I offer, my next upcoming event, how you can get plugged in. And you know what? I think I may put other things in the description. So check it out so you can see all the bells and whistles and fun things that are offered here at the Michelle LeAnn Show. And if you would like to be a guest and be interviewed or tell your story, You can reach out at info@michelleleann.com, and we will set up a virtual interview or a virtual meetup for you to tell your story on this playlist of being 40 plus and a first time mom. So appreciate you tuning in, and I will see you next week.